time to plan our next attack. What's the state of the Inquisition?
Our alliance with Orlais holds, for the present. They'll send aid on request.
And your actions at Adamant denied Corypheus his army of pet demons. With Orlais' support, our numbers match his. Corypheus' followers must be panicking.
My agents agree. Our victories have shaken his disciples.
That's what we want. Demoralized soldiers fall first. Where is Corypheus now?
After you dealt with the Duchess, Corypheus uprooted his major strongholds. He's moving south to the Arbor Wilds. His army clearly wasn't prepared to flee. Our victories have them on the defensive.
We strike Corypheus now, while his people are reeling. If he's hiding in the Arbor Wilds, that's where we finish him.
But what is Corypheus doing in such a remote area?
His people have been ransacking elven ruins since Haven. We believe he seeks more. What he hopes to find, however, continues to elude us.
Which should surprise no one.
Oh yes, invite yourself in then.
I can assist.
You're intruding.
The guards outside aren't for show.
I'm not here to amuse myself, Inquisitor. Corypheus yearns for something he must not find.
Which is?
His best, if I show you. This is an Illuvian, an elven artifact from a time long before their empire was lost to human greed. I restored this one at great cost, but another lies within the Arbor Wilds. That is what Corypheus seeks.
You can restore an artifact like this?
There was a price, but one I gladly paid. I found legends of an elven temple within the Arbor Wilds, untouched. It proved too dangerous to approach, and thus I turned elsewhere to find my prize. If Corypheus has turned southward, he could succeed where I failed. The Illuvian would be his.
What does it do?
A more appropriate question would be, where does it lead? If this place once had a name, it has long been lost. I call it the Crossroads, a place where all Illuvians join, wherever they might be.
This place is extraordinary. How could this even exist?
Who can say? Formed from the fabric of time and space, perhaps. The ancient elves left no roads, only ruins hidden in far-flung corners. This is how they traveled between them. As you can see, most of the mirrors are dark, broken, corrupted, or unusable. As for the rest, a few can be opened from this side, but only a few.
Corypheus wants to come here.
This is not the Fade, but it is very close. Someone with enough power could tear down the ancient barriers.
And enter the Fade in the flesh, like Corypheus wanted to do with the Anchor.
He learned of the Illuvian in the Arbor Wilds as I did. He marshals the last of his forces to reach it. You have made Corypheus desperate, Inquisitor. We must work together to stop him, and soon.
With an illuvion, Corypheus could cross into the Fade in the flesh.
Indeed, the Inquisitor can attest that these artifacts still work, if one knows how to use them.
What happens when Corypheus enters the Fade?
Why, he will gain his heart's desire and take the power of a god. Or, and this is more likely, the lunatic will unleash forces that tear the world apart.
We don't have to worry about this illuvion if Corypheus isn't alive to use it.
Stopping him thusly would be ideal, if you could manage it.
So little
Certainly,
faith,
but
Morrigan.
does this mean everything's lost unless we get to the Illuvion before him?
Corypheus has a head start, no matter how quickly our army moves.
We should gather our allies before we march.
Can we wait for them? We should send our spies ahead to the Arbor Wilds.
Without support from the soldiers, you'd lose half of them.
Then what should we do?
For starters, we don't let Corypheus worry us to death. Imagine how embarrassing that would be. Josephine, have our allies send scouts to meet us in the wilds. Liliana, your fastest agents, will join them. Together, we'll have enough spies to slow down Corypheus's army until Cullen's soldiers arrive.
Such confidence, but the Arbor Wilds are not so kind to visitors. Old elven magic lingers in those woods.
We'd be remiss to not take advantage of your knowledge, Lady Morrigan. Please, lend us your expertise.
'Tis why I came here, although it is good to see its value recognized.
Any further instructions, Inquisitor?
The Inquisition began as a handful of soldiers. Thanks to you, we're now a force that will topple a self-proclaimed god. I could ask for no finer counsel, no better guidance.
Oh.
I speak for all of us when I answer. We could ask for no finer cause.
We'll hound Corypheus in the wilds before he can find the temple or this illuvion.
Inquisitor,
How goes the battle, Captain?
the Red Templars fall beneath our blades, your worship. Commander Cullen says they're nearly finished. Our scouts saw Corypheus traveling towards an elven ruin to the north. We can clear you a path through his armies.
Make the monsters pay, Captain. Leave none standing.
We shall not flinch, your worship. Not a one of us. Andraste guide you, Inquisitor.
I wonder, is it Andraste your soldiers invoke during battle, or does a more immediate name come to their lips?
They show me respect, Morrigan. No one mistakes me for the Maker.
True. You are far more likely to come to their aid than a chantry fable, but I digress. If your scouts report accurately, I believe these ruins to be the Temple of Mathal.
Which is?
A place of worship out of elven legend. If Corypheus seeks it, then the alluvion he covets lies within. Let us hope we reach this temple before the entire forest is reduced to ash.
Okay. Oh, look at this part. On an owl. I hope the next game lets us have pets. I really want pets. I want a little kitty, or a little bird, or like a weird exotic thing, just to follow me around while I quest.
Just what I heard.
Oh, wait, has she always been here?
We are aware of the designs Corypheus has on our lives and people, Ambassador. We are gladdened to see you, Herald. This day will be recalled for ages. We are privileged to witness the
Or maybe I had
fulfillment of the
Gaspar here
Inquisition's
last time?
purpose.
Can't remember.
I can't speak long. I must join my soldiers on the field.
It would be selfish to keep you. Men and women of faith serve you. Their favor is no less than our own. Their service no less dear. With Orlais at your side, we will see you victorious against Corypheus. May you walk in the light.
Thank you.
Inquisitor, I hear this Illuvian lies in a temple nearby. That's where the fighting will be worst. Andraste, keep you safe.
Are you sure you don't want to grab a sword and wade in?
I shall remain where I'm of some use, your worship. It's all the same. Good luck.
I'd like to see Josephine with a weapon. Hitting Red Templars.
Corypheus's soldiers appear to be on the defensive.
If the soldiers aren't careful with their fires, they'll do Corypheus's work for him.
I hope you're right about this temple, Morrigan. I could use a building or two.
Do the woods discomfort you, Pathos?
It's mostly the people trying to cut our heads off that manage that.
Summer sarcasm, I love it. Where's he gone? It's the flying Red Templar.
There, ahead. An entire camp of Red Templars.
Really? They're right in front of us.
seems this temple of Mythal is not deserted after all.
Perhaps these creatures are the reason few return from the Arbor Wilds.
Not even a challenge.
That's right, they're immune to fire. What's happening?
There. That must be the Temple of Mythal.
Any chance Corypheus will finally grace us with his presence?
I'd count on it. Be
Na Milana Sabanale.
They still think to fight us, Master.
These are but remnants. They will not keep us from the Well of Sorrows.
Well of Sorrows?
Be honored. Witness death at the hands of a new god.
cannot be!
Across the bridge, now!
At last, Mathal's sanctum. Let us proceed before Corypheus interferes.
Yes, indeed. We all heard Corypheus say he came for the Well of Sorrows, not an Eluvian.
I am uncertain of what he referred to.
Tisk tisk.
You're not certain? You said you knew what he was looking for.
Confidence can carry one only so far, it seems.
I suspected. I did not know. Yes, I was wrong. Does that please you? Whatever the Well of Sorrows might be, Corypheus seeks it, and thus you must keep it from his grasp.
Let's find this well before Corypheus's people do. I want to know how Corypheus returned to life. We saw him die.
And his life force passes on to any blighted creature, darkspawn, or Grey Warden.
How do we kill an immortal?
We'll find a way to stop Corypheus once we're done here.
'Tis strange. Archdemons possess the same ability, and still the Grey Wardens are able to slay them. Yet Corypheus they locked away. Perhaps they knew he could do this, but not how. It appears the temple's magics are still strong.
Is this Elven? Does it say anything about this Well of Sorrows?
Atishor vir Abalasan. It means enter the path of the Well of Sorrows.
There is something about knowledge, respectful or pure. Shiven. Shivenen. 'Tis all I can translate. That it mentions the well is a good omen.
At least we know the Well of Sorrows was important.
Supplicants to Mathal would have first paid obeisance here. Following their path may aid entry.
After you. I insist.
Don't be such a scaredy cat, Vivian.
I see the Red Templars have already encountered the temple's guardians. The Temple of Mithal, constructed in an age when elves, not men, dominated this land.
Before the Imperium destroyed it.
They believed Mithal a goddess of justice. Elves came here to request judgment, after they proved their worth.
Silence has reigned here for time beyond memory.
I like how everyone has something to say now. Because in my first playthrough I think it was mostly just Solus talking. Well, and Morrigan. But Morrigan's always here, regardless of your party setup. Why are these parrots sitting in a circle? Are they like devil worshipping parrots? Are they trying to summon something? Something evil?
Why would this be here?
Something wrong?
It depicts the dread wolf, Fen Harel. In elven tales, he tricks their gods into sealing themselves away in the beyond for all time. Setting Fen Harel in Mathal's greatest sanctum is as blasphemous as painting Andraste naked in the chantry.
Some chantries display statues of Andraste's betrayer, Mafarath, as part of the chant.
It might fulfill a similar function, a reminder of vigilance for the faithful.
For all your knowledge, Lady Morrigan, you cannot resist giving legend the weight of history. The wise do not mistake one for the other.
Pray tell, what meaning does our elven expert sense lurking behind this?
None we can discern by staring at it.
You two look like you're about to kiss when you argue.
'Tis time we pressed forward.
Agreed.
Oh. You two should get it on. I sense some sexual tension there. Do I need to talk to him, Morrigan?
Yes.
Do you know what this part of the temple was used for?
The room we stand in is a vestibule, not the temple proper. To those who knew it, perhaps this ritual was little more than a polite knock at the gate. These customs must have been as familiar to ancient elves as bowing to a queen is to you or I.
I find it difficult to picture you curtsying to anyone.
Why our dear Empress tolerated that is one of the mysteries of our age.
Why, Madam Vivian? I expected sweeter barbs from a tongue as subtle as yours. Does this place unnerve you, sir? Or is it I?
You unnerve me as would a cockroach crossing the floor, making me think new
That's harsh.
might be required.
Much better.
Let's continue.
As you wish.
Everyone here really dislikes each other except me and Dorian, it seems. It makes for an interesting dynamic.